Welcome back. There have, of course, been so many tributes paid to Paul O'Grady since his sad, unexpected death last week. And this morning, an online appeal for a statue to be built for Paul in his hometown of Birkenhead has reached 117,000 signatures. The petition was set up by brothers Simon and Kieran Gabriel. And we can actually join Simon, who's in Birkenhead this morning. Good morning to you, Simon. What made you just go online and think, I've got to galvanise some momentum into having a permanent memorial to the brilliant Paul O'Grady, right there where you are stood in that square?
Well, this is one of many possible locations, but I think really anyone can set up one of these petitions, really. I think it doesn't take much to do. I think the outpouring and the response has been the main thing. I just want to, first of all, say thank you to everybody who has signed it. It's been great to see. But the drive was to get something permanent in the hometown, really, because of how much we think Paul means to us. That was the main drive to get that set up.
What does he mean to you?
To me personally, I think Paul, well, I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking about how Paul managed to go through these different iterations of himself through popular culture and come out of it a national treasure. And I think that's one of the amazing things about Paul. I don't remember Paul coming with like a manual of how to understand him and all the things he'd done. I just remember him being relevant. And I think that is such a skill these days. He wasn't like a blast from the past. He always maintained to be relevant. So, you know, for me, Paul was always on the telly. I always knew of Paul and appreciated his work, no matter what he was doing at the time.
And it's the Birkenhead link, isn't it, for you, that is the really strong pull, I guess. It's the fact that he put Birkenhead on the map. He talked about it in his sketches, didn't he?
Well, he did, yeah. I like to think of Paul as like an ultra-local style person, and usually a consequence of becoming a bigger artist in what you do is that you lose a bit of identity. And I think as Paul grew and grew and grew, and as I say, become a national treasure, he still somehow maintained that identity, and that just shows how important Birkenhead culture was to Paul, I think, in his growing up. And obviously that's reciprocated on the other end, is just how important he was to the place. And when you see that, and you see that on TV, and you see him name-dropping Birkenhead, you do feel seen, and you feel like your culture is being on display, and that is super important to the community, I think.
I've got one of the things he said here. You need two things for a riot in Birkenhead: flat shoes and a pram. It's just brilliant, isn't it? I mean, we will miss him. We will always miss him. Listen, good luck to you.
Absolutely.
This petition, now, I'm sure it's gone bigger than you ever expected. It's got 117,000 people supporting it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many. Does it need 150,000 before it has to be taken and responded to by the council, I think? And just to be clear, from your point of view, in terms of funding it, it's not you're not thinking the taxpayer should fund it, are you, necessarily? Because I think maybe people would say, is that a good idea?
No. Well, this isn't like us versus the council. This isn't us saying, where's our statue? You know, I'm not going to chain myself to a tree and sort of like make the council pay for something. This is, we're going to be looking at private funding. We're going to be looking at ways to source this. We have practical routes. We're in touch with some great people who've came to us, luckily, who know the logistics to get this done. We want to work with the council to make sure it can happen. I'm so aware there's a cost of living crisis on. I'm from Birkenhead. You know, this is, we want to do it responsibly, absolutely.
That's fantastic. I'm sure he's smiling down on you and your family for putting this petition up. I'm sure he's probably slightly embarrassed by it because he was, you know, he's a humble fellow. But thank you so much and good luck. I think it'd be a really great tribute.
Thank you so much.
And there is actually going to be a special tribute to Paul on ITV1 this weekend, celebrating his career and hearing from his friends. That really isn't to be missed. It's at 8 p.m. on Sunday.